Hello everyone, and welcome once again to Caleb Likes Books. Today I have another book review for you, and that is for Krampus, the Yule Lord by Brom. This is one of the books that I was reading in December as like some Christmassy reads. I've been wanting to read more Christmas related books in December and in the past, and I've never gotten to do so, but I am this December, which is very exciting. This is the first one I decided to go for. This is by an author that I've heard a lot about. I've heard a lot about Brom's books. I've heard he's a good author. I've seen some of his actual like visual art, which is really cool. And I listened to this book on audiobook, and apparently the actual like print book includes some illustrations by him as well, which is really cool. But I'd heard a lot about him, but I had never actually like read one of his books, and so I decided to check this one out because I'd heard it was good and it was Christmas related. And I have to say I was kind of blown away by how much I loved this book. It was really good. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. To get into what I liked about this book, there's a lot of things. I love just the idea behind this book, and that kind of has a lot of facets to it, like all of the different concepts behind this book and the way they all intersect together, and the way that everything, just all of the ideas within this book to me are really interesting. So you have, obviously there's like Santa Claus, that's the big Christmas icon, right? And then you have Krampus, who is this kind of, I believe, like European originating Christmas character. And this book is more so based in that. So this book basically is Krampus is returning to the world after a long time, and wants to become the true Yule Lord, wants to overtake Santa Claus, destroy him completely, because Santa wronged him in the past and all this kind of thing. So this book is basically about him trying to get back at Santa and trying to become like the one person that is like, for this like time of year, this season of Yule and everything, trying to become the one person instead of Santa Claus. And as he's doing that, this main character, I believe named Jesse, gets wrapped up into all of his doings, and things just kind of go from there. I think it was a really interesting idea, not just in like everything I just said, but also just to deal with such a you don't hear a whole lot, at least from what I know of, a lot about Krampus. I'd heard of him before, but I've never heard much about him. So getting something from this perspective was really cool and really interesting. And I also love just the idea of this being like a dark, kind of fantasy, kind of horror take on a Christmas story. And on top of that, it has a lot of interesting things going into it. So you have like the actual Krampus stuff. You have a very unique take on Santa Claus. You have ties into Norse mythology. It's so cool and so interesting. And I loved just reading this book and learning about this particular version of Christmas lore, I guess. And it was just super cool. It was super fun, and I really enjoyed that about it. I really enjoyed the story as well. It was like very action-packed, very, actually rather violent at times. Definitely had some of the horror elements in there. Definitely is, it's not the kind of Christmas book that you'd, read to your kids. Definitely, a lot of swear words, lots of violence, things like that. So definitely is a much darker take on a Christmas story, but very action-packed, very pretty fast-paced at times. Very exciting, lots of interesting twists and turns, lots of interesting things that happen, and also, again, just that interesting take on Christmas, like the Santa and Krampus and everything. It was just really, really cool, and I really enjoyed it. A very entertaining book, I think, and the characters as well were pretty interesting to me. Of like the three, of like the world building, I guess, of like the fantastical elements and everything, and the story and the plot and the characters, I think the characters was probably the weakest, but they were still good. The main character of Jesse was pretty interesting. Krampus himself was super interesting. I had never heard, I didn't know much about Krampus. I was aware of him, but I didn't know much about him, so I don't know how much of this book is completely accurate to like those stories, but it was really interesting to learn about him. The other characters, his kind of crew that he has with them is really interesting. There's some other characters as well that I really enjoyed. Just the interactions between everyone, the writing of it, the way that the characters were all integrated into the story was really well done, and I really enjoyed a lot. And a lot of really good moments throughout this book that are just very memorable to me, and really good ending as well. And some moments in here that, like I mentioned, like this book has some twists and turns. There are some moments in this book that had me completely by surprise, that I just was very shocked by, and was like, that is just really interesting. Lots of interesting stuff in this book. So yeah, that's a lot of what I have to say about this book, really. I don't have much negative to say. I do think there were times when the plot of the book was not as engaging to me, but that really wasn't that big of an issue, because those were few and far between. Most of the time, I really enjoyed this book. It was just such an interesting book, and such a unique take on a Christmas story, and things like that. I just had an absolute blast reading it, and I feel bad spending so little time on this review, because I genuinely did love this book. But really, I just had a really fun time with it. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it'll crack my absolute favorite books of the year or not, but it is definitely going to be one of the most memorable, I think, and one that is going to stick in my memory for a while, and one that is definitely going to be one of the most unique, exciting, just really, like, there's a lot of just that's really cool about this book, that I just really enjoyed. And I had a blast reading it. I definitely want to read more by Brom, having now read this. I mean, his stuff kind of seems up my alley at times in some of his books anyway, but having now read this, I definitely want to check out some more of his stuff. So if you have any recommendations, then let me know. So that's pretty much all I got for this one. As far as a rating out of 10 that I would give Krampus, the Yule Lord, I'd give it like a 9.5 out of 10. Again, really loved it. Fantastic book. Super interesting, super exciting, action-packed, lots of fun to read, and I just had a great time with this book. So if you have read Krampus the Yule Lord before, let me know in the comments what you thought of it, if you loved it, if you didn't. If there's any other kind of unique takes on Christmas books or anything like that you would like to point out down in the comments, let me know, because I'd love to check out more of those, maybe next Christmas season, and things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.